Hello, YouTube, and in off the post crowd. Welcome to another week of slightly inaccurate, but probably wildly inaccurate predictions. With me this evening, I'm your host Trent. With me is fellow admin Sean, who's a Spurs fan. Chirag, who is now a stalwart, a reliable attendee in these things now. I was going to call you the Harry Maguire, but then I thought that's not actually a compliment.
You can use Gary Neville if you want.
Okay. Yeah, the Gary Neville, solid and reliable. And then finally returning is Chelsea fan James after a long hiatus. Gentlemen, it's been a good week so far in terms of Champions League. Some good games going on, and the Europa League, which as an Arsenal fan I'm familiar with. This weekend, we're doing this on a Thursday because the weekend games actually start off tomorrow night on Friday. So it was an interesting set of games, as I mentioned. But tomorrow we've got the first game is at 8 p.m. on Friday the 27th. And that's Crystal Palace hosting Newcastle. Now, this is probably not a game that you would want to pay £15 pay-per-view. So, gentlemen, I'm going to throw it out to you guys and let me know, what do you think is going to happen here? Chirag, I'm going to start with you.
Ooh, this is a tricky one. Just draw 1-1.
Yeah.
Sit on the fence there.
Sit on the fence. I would have gone for 0-0 myself, and that's what I'm going to go for. Simply because I don't think either of these two teams are going to sort of want to attack each other, which will probably mean that it's going to be 4-4, and I'm going to be really embarrassed. I'm going to go to James next because it's been a while since I've spoken to James. James, give me your prediction for Palace at home to Newcastle tomorrow.
I'm going to go over draw as well. I could just see it being like a boring game. Like you said, not many of them are like all-out attack. Yeah, I can't see it being a great... Probably be wrong, like you said, and it'd be 3-3 or 4-4, but yeah, I'm going to go over draw.
Okay, give me a result. What do you think in terms of the score?
I'm going to go with 1-1.
All right. And then Sean, who is doing his best Michael Jackson by the fireplace impression while watching the Tottenham game.
I am watching it. So Newcastle Palace sounds fun. I think it's going to be a little bit more exciting than what people are making out. Crystal Palace will want to bounce back with a win after losing 1-0 to Burnley. But I can't see them beating Newcastle. I think Newcastle are a better side than Burnley. I'm going to go 2-1 Newcastle. I think they're going to come out for this because it's 3 points, right? That they both really need.
Okay.
But 2-1 Newcastle.
So you reckon Newcastle are going to score 2 whole goals? Wow. Brilliant.
I reckon Callum Wilson's going to score 2 whole goals.
Fair enough. Okay.
Newcastle, I think it could be 2 Wilson goals.
Right. So that's kind of a taster for the weekend. And then we really get into the champions playing at Brighton at lunchtime on Saturday. Liverpool, who swatted aside Leicester, as I predicted, by the way. Not that I'm smug or anything, but I did say they were going to win when everybody else had Liverpool to lose. So what do we think is going to happen? Brighton are hosting Liverpool. James, go for it, mate.
I mean, Liverpool haven't got their fully strength team at the moment, but it shouldn't be an issue against Brighton. I can't see anything but a Liverpool win, 2 or 3-0.
Okay, 2 or 3. Which one?
I'll go with 3. All right, sorry, yeah, I'll go with 3.
3-0. Okay, awesome. What about you, Sean?
It's got to be Liverpool all the way. Brighton can't score, won't score. So, 2-3. I'll go 3-0. 3-0 Liverpool.
Okay.
Without even breaking a sweat.
Chirag?
I'm going to go 2-0 Liverpool.
Yeah. Okay.
Pardon? You're a Man United fan. You can't do that.
Yeah, I know. Well, we were wrong last week, so hopefully I'm wrong again.
I was trying to jinx them.
Me too, mate. Me too.
Okay. I'm going to go with a straightforward. I think Brighton will actually score. but I think it'll be 3-1. And then moving on to the afternoon games, the 3 p.m., the only 3 p.m. on a Saturday, which is really, really strange now saying this, but it's Manchester City at home to Burnley. Man City, got swatted away by Tottenham, even though they classic Mourinho performance that they didn't.
They got
really
swatted
break
away
us.
without getting swatted away, right?
Yeah. So what do we think? I think they might take Burnley to the cleaners this time around. I'm going to go big here, and I'm going to say I reckon City are going to beat Burnley 4-0. I'm going to get my prediction in early. It'll be a disaster when Burnley pull a shock, but I'm going to go with 4-0 to City. How about you, Sean? What do you think?
It should be a stonewall easy 3 points for Man City. But it's kind of a derby, right? Burnley, Man City. So I think there'll be a bit of fire. I'm going to go 2-0 City.
Okay. I thought you for a second there you're going to go, but it's kind of a derby and Burnley are going to pinch it. But
I think they'll give them a game, but it won't be a game they can win. But they'll give them a game, and they won't just let their roll over for them.
Yeah, fair enough. James?
Normally I'd say City would steamroll Burnley, but I'm gonna go with 2-1 City. I think they'll struggle just because I know they won the other night and stuff, but their league form's not like they've only scored I think 10 goals this season. It's just crazy. I don't really know what's going on there at the moment. So yeah, I'm gonna go with 2-1 to City.
Christ, I didn't realise the 10 goals thing. Now I feel stupid saying 4. Chirag, as a Manchester United fan, are you going to burst into flames by predicting another City win?
Yeah, it's going to be a City win. It's a 3-1 City.
Okay, awesome.
Wash your mouth out.
Yeah. He's going to have to take a shower after this.
Every Man United fan watching this.
And then moving on to the 5:30 for Saturday, Everton against Leeds. Everton, who after 3 games without a win, somehow managed to win at Fulham, although Fulham keep missing penalties. And Leeds, who should have beaten us about 4 times over, I think, and let us get away with a point. Anyway, Everton at home to Leeds. Dominic Calvert-Lewin hopefully will still keep banging the goals. I need him for my fantasy team to keep doing it. So what do we reckon, gentlemen? James, go for it. Give me a prediction.
Tough one. I mean, Leeds' defence has been funny lately, but it's a really interesting game. But I think it could also be an exciting game and possibly a high-scoring game. But I think I'm going to go with 2-2.
Okay.
And it'll be a good game, I think.
2-2. Excellent. Chirag? Again,
I was actually going to
don't predict the Leeds.
Yeah, I know. You're going against 3-2 Everton.
3-2 Everton. Wow, okay. High-scoring game. What about you, Sean?
It's a funny one, right? Because Leeds aren't a bad side, but Everton are on the best form that they've ever been in since they won the FA Cup. 2-1 Leeds. Solid. I'm going to be the one out there. I'm going to go 2-1 Leeds. Everton have to turn into Everton again at some point, regardless of who their manager is. And I think Leeds are en route for 3 points. 2-1 Leeds.
All right, Sean's gone with the 2-1. I'm going to go with the reverse of that. I think Everton are going to win 2-1. I think that Leeds, that high pressing game, will tire them out. And Everton have got some very quick players on the counter with Richarlison and those guys. So maybe I think they might just sneak it. 2-1 at home, I'm going to say.
I noticed Chirag couldn't do the hat trick there and say Leeds were going to win.
Yeah, he
No.
Yeah. I should have put them in different order, you see. And then the Saturday 8 p.m. is 2 teams that really need a win. It's the proverbial cliche of 6-pointer. It's West Brom at home to Sheffield United. 8 o'clock at the Hawthorns. What do we think, Chirag?
This is a hard one to call because, like you say, they both need the points. 1-1 draw.
Draw. Okay.
I want to
so,
say a draw. They're going to be too afraid to lose, I think.
Okay. What about you, James?
I think Sheffield United will go for it. They're really desperate for a win. Like, I can't kind of believe how they're playing this season. Going to go for 1-0 Sheffield United.
This is a Sheffield United team that's lost 4 in a row, have 1 point all season, have lost 8 games against West Brom.
This weekend's going to be their turnaround.
Against West Brom, who have lost 3 in a row, have 3 points.
So my prediction's actually sounding all right at the moment.
Right. So James has gone with a what? Sorry, James, did you say 1-0?
Yeah, 1-0 Sheffield United.
Okay, 1-0 away. And I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to say that the thing is that you want to call a draw, right? It's like they're both going to cancel each other out, but I think West Brom will win. I think they'll win 1-0. I don't know why. There's no logic to that. It's just I like Bilic. That's my logic.
Yeah, that'll do.
Sean?
That's the thing, right? On paper, Sheffield United should be the better team. On paper, form-wise and defensively drilled, West Brom are just playing better. I think they'll shut United out. I think it'll be 1-0 to West Brom.
Great, I'm not alone. Excellent. And then moving on to, and I'm going to go to Chirag for this one first. Moving on to Sunday's game, 2:00. An informed Southampton host an inconsistent Manchester United. Which chocolate is going to be pulled out of the Man United box this time? Is it going to be coffee or caramel?
I don't know. I still think we'll come away with a win. 2-1 United.
Okay. Southampton, who have not lost in 5, have won 3 out of 5. I'm just throwing some stats here.
That's fine.
And Manchester United.
That's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Just making sure we're joint 10th with you. So, okay, you've gone with a 2-1 United win.
Not a problem.
Okay, he's taking it on the chin for his team. Sean?
Van de Beek starts, United win 2-1. Pogba starts, Man United lose 1-0.
Yeah, the Pogba conundrum. I think he's dropped him though now, right? I think that's done now. Well, I'm going to need one prediction from you. You're going to have to plump regardless of who he starts.
Home advantage Southampton, 2-1 Southampton.
Sean wants the title challenge or the big teams to lose points early, I can see. James, go for it, James.
It depends who's the ref, and yeah.
Don't worry, we've got VAR to help us out. We're fine.
That's why I said they're giving a mandatory penalty.
Yeah,
I can feel the penalty already. But no, with Southampton's form, I'll go with a 1-1 draw.
I was going to upset Chirag as well. I was going to say Manchester United to lose, and I think they'll lose 3-1.
Yeah,
really?
Yes, I'm going there. The thing is that Manchester United are very good at teams who sort of give them space, and Southampton play the opposite of that. Like in terms of give them counter-attacking opportunities, should I say, not space. I apologize. Southampton are exactly the opposite of that. They don't give you the chances, or since Tottenham, because they learned from that game, I think, to not be so open. So I think that Manchester United might come unstuck. Famous last words, gentlemen. This is when Monday Chirag tags me on the post. Okay, and then we move to the game of the weekend, and we've got a Chelsea and a Tottenham fan on here. I want you guys to really give me your opinions so far on your seasons and what you think will happen at 4:30. It's at Stamford Bridge, a place that Tottenham haven't travelled well to, as far as I know, recently. So go for it, James.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about the season and the game?
The season, yeah, good. Since at the moment anyway, since Mendy's come in, things have tightened up, and out of all the people that sort of saved us the most, is 36-year-old Thiago Silva. If I'm honest, he's just put that organisation back in the team, and you're starting to see Reece James is really good. Werner, he's missed a couple the last few games, which is a pain in the arse because his goals would have really helped us secure these wins more comfortably. But overall, yeah, so far so good. The defence looks tighter, attacking going forwards pretty good. So yeah, happy. As for the game Sunday, I think we'll have most of the possession. They might just sit back and hit us on the counter. I'd be surprised if they went for it, but I'm gonna go with. Oh, it's a tough one. I think Tottenham will score, but I'm gonna go with 2-1 Chelsea. I just think we might get an early. Yeah, it's so hard to call. I think then Mourinho could pull off one of his master plans. You just don't know. No, I'm going to go 2-1 Chelsea. I think we'll just nick it.
He doesn't want to second guess his own team. Good man. Good man. Right. Sean, how's the actual Tottenham game going? You were winning 2-0. Is it changed? Okay.
2-0.
Okay.
Second string.
What about Sunday? I don't really care about Tottenham, but just tell me about Sunday.
Sunday, good to see that he's resting all the first team, pretty much with the exception of Ndombele. Yeah, like James just said, it's a tough one to call. I think we'll employ exactly the same tactic that we did against Man City. Chelsea are playing some very, very good football at the moment. Werner's doing what he normally does for them, and that's what he did at RB Leipzig. He goes missing in big games. I watched the Bundesliga, and he does go missing in big games. I see you guys scoring, absolutely, without question. I think you're better than City. You're in better form. I think we'll hit you on the counter. I'm actually going to go for 1-1, and I'll be happy with the draw. I'll take the draw, especially with the running games. Oh my God, what a goal! Winks has just scored an absolute screamer. Yeah. So yeah, 1-1. I'll go 1-1.
It must be 2020 if Harry Wicks is scoring streamers. And that's the F-bomb right there, and I'm going to have to beep that out. Okay. And what about your season? Does it have legs? It hurts to see you top of the table. Does it have legs?
Let's talk Christmas. Okay. I mean, if we get through the running games with the amount of points that I've said, we've got a chance. Yeah, but we have to get through December. We can afford to drop points against Chelsea. We can afford to drop points against Liverpool. Where we can't afford to drop points is against the West Broms. What we were doing when we finished third in a 2-horse race. Yeah. You know, that's where we were dropping the points, and that's where they're the most important. You can drop 2 points against Chelsea. You can drop 3 points against Liverpool and still win the league. What you can't do is drop points against Broms, against Burnleys. That's where you can't drop the points. That's where you need to get them.
Mm.
That's a fair enough assessment.
Honestly, if I'm being real with myself, I don't think we'll win the league. I think if anyone's going to win the league, it will be Liverpool or Chelsea again.
Yeah, it's a strange season though. You don't know yet. Chirag?
This is definitely a hard one to call. On actual form, in terms of how teams are playing, Chelsea are up there right now on the form they're on. But tactically, Mourinho seems to have got the glint in his eye back again. Annoyingly, I don't know why. I'm going to say 2-1 Chelsea.
Okay. Well, I can't in all good consciousness predict a Tottenham win to extend their lead against Chelsea. I'm also going to go with 2-1 at home and pray for a Giroud last-minute goal, just for the lols. But yeah, seriously, I mean, both teams look really, really good, and I think Tottenham are again, it hurts, but they are looking really good. And Harry Kane is number 10, as in, Gareth Southgate, are you watching? Is all I would say. Okay, and then we move on to Arsenal at home to Wolves, which I don't even know what to think anymore, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of Arsenal fans already saying Arteta needs to be sacked and all sorts of nonsense. I don't think he needs to be sacked. We're much better than we were when he took over. It's going to take time. We're at home against Wolves. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Wolves haven't looked great, I'll be honest. So I think we will pinch that 1-0 myself. 1-0 to the Arsenal for all time's sake. What about you, Chirag? What do you think about Arsenal at home to Wolves?
The Arsenal's a weird enigma at the moment because you just don't know which Arsenal are going to turn up. And invariably, it's been bad. Obviously, like you said, Leeds should have trounced you by 3 or 4 easily. But again, Wolves as well. Wolves have been hit and miss this season as well. I'm going to say 1-1 draw.
Okay. Break my heart. Why not? Okay. What about you, Sean? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Arsenal are just poor at the moment, aren't they? And it doesn't please me to say that because I'm not going to sit here and say, I don't like watching Arsenal do well, but I like how they used to play. It was good football. And what they're playing at the moment is absolute drivel. It's bad. I mean, Carlos Vinicius has got more goals in open play in 60 minutes than they have in the last how many games?
Don't give me that. Just give me a result.
I think Arsenal will break their duck. I think Arsenal will win this weekend. I'll go 2-1.
Okay, it's 2 whole goals. Wow, we are in Newcastle territory. Okay, what about you, James?
I'm just gonna go with 1-1. I'm just gonna go with 1-1.
Simply because you don't care.
If Tony Fox is watching, man, you know how I feel about Arsenal. So yeah, I'm just gonna go with 1-1.
Okay. Excellent. And so that's the weekend games, and then we've got 2 games on Monday. For some reason, I've actually put both at 5:30, but I think one is actually later. So it's Leicester at home to Fulham on Monday. Leicester, who for some reason managed to get a 3-3 this evening, even though they conceded in stoppage time against Braga, I think it was. But Leicester, who most of us were tipping to beat Liverpool at Anfield and end the curse and all that nonsense. But it didn't happen. They just didn't really turn up. And I thought Brendan Rodgers did a little bit at Anfield, frankly. And Fulham, who don't give them a penalty because I don't think they will score it, frankly.
They're due one any minute, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're due to score one at some point.
Yeah, the law of averages dictates that. Fulham are, for some reason, not bottom, which is shocking to realise, especially when people say
not.
No, Sheffield United are bottom, West Brom. Fulham have 4 whole points.
Ooh.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they've won 1 game as well. So what do we think, gentlemen? I'm going to go to Sean first because he's too concentrated on the Tottenham game. I don't want him to enjoy it that much.
It's all good. It's all good. I mean, it's farmers. It's all good. I think Leicester will react this weekend, and I think they're going to slap out of Fulham. I think it's going to be 4-0 to Leicester. I think they're going to absolutely wipe the floor with them.
As long as James Maddison grabs a hat-trick, I'm delighted with that prediction because he is in my team as well for fantasy football. And what about you, Chirag? What do you think?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I was saying 4-0 Leicester.
Okay. James?
Yeah, I'm going to go 3-0 Leicester. I think it would be a nice, easy win.
Yeah. I was also going to go with the big score, but I think Leicester will probably win 2-0. just to be different. I think Fulham might be the first team to probably sack their manager, if I'm honest, because they don't have they don't have a lot of bad players. I mean, Loftus-Cheek is a good player. He's not a terrible footballer. They've got some, Kearney in midfield, Lookman when he's not taking penalties.
Wasn't Parker their manager when they got relegated?
So I think he got hired after they were relegated, or just about to be relegated.
I mean, to be fair, I'm not really sure that the owners really care whether they're playing Championship or Premier League. It's like something that they can also talk about on that terrible, terrible wrestling show that they have. That's it.
You keep mentioning this, but I have no idea what this is, so I'm going to have to look at it for next time. Okay, so we reckon home win for Leicester all around with a clean sheet to boot. And then the final game of this weekend's, technically weekend, but it's on a Monday, fixtures, the Claret and Blue Derby, West Ham at home to Aston Villa. Aston Villa, who slapped Liverpool and Arsenal convincingly, but then who've also had some results as well. So what do we, and West Ham, who are actually pretty consistent. I mean, credit where credit is due. They've been playing well, and they're 8th. What do we think, gentlemen? Let me go to Shaw. Let me go to James first. Didn't want to interrupt Sean because he's.
It's a good point what you said about the West Ham. They have been getting a few results lately, and Villa was flying at one point. It was Aston Villa and Everton at the top, and you thought, what's going on? But obviously, we all knew that was going to change. But yeah, I'm going to go. That's a tough one, I'm going to go with West Ham. I'm going to go with West Ham 2-1.
Okay. And what about you, Chirag?
High scoring draw, 2-2.
Okay. And Sean?
4-0. Yeah.
This is terrible.
Villa,
we should have done this tomorrow. I can't do
Villa
this.
West Ham. It'll be a good game, that's for sure. It'll be a good game for Monday Night Football. I'll certainly watch it. But I'll go the other way around. I think West Ham have got to do a West Ham at some point, and Villa have got enough firepower to put them away. I'm going to go 2-0 Villa.
Oh, Mr. Dwayne in the admin team will be delighted to hear this. I'm expecting his response. I think, even though I have a bet for West Ham not to finish higher than 14th, by the way, which is making me look shambolic right now. I think West Ham will beat Villa, and I think they will beat them 1-0. It's just, I think Villa, if you can stop Grealish, you've probably stopped 70% of their game. That's not easy because Grealish, for me, is probably, aside from Kane, the most informed England player in terms of actual effectiveness. But I think that West Ham will do it. And David Moyes' jobby, maybe it'll be a smash and grab. But yeah, I think they might do it. And let's see what happens. Okay, so that's all the predictions, gentlemen. I do have one question, though, that I want to get everybody else's view on just before we finish off.
It's still 4-0. It's okay.
Thank you. Okay. There have been obviously announcements with the pandemic, etc., about fans being let into the stadiums. Now, depending on zones and tiers and everything else that's going on in politics, which I don't want to in any way get into, but what is the thoughts of you guys, or what are your guys' thoughts? Let me use proper English in terms of letting people into stadiums, even if it's in a limited capacity. Do you think this is a good thing? Do you think this will impact the teams positively, negatively? Do you think it will actually create much of an atmosphere? Chirag?
Well, let's be honest. It's not going to create any atmosphere whatsoever if you're going to have a maximum 4,000 people in Premier League grounds. 2, it's going to cost them an arm and a leg to run the games as normal for 4,000 people. So I can't imagine any of the clubs saying, okay, yeah, we're going to allow these fans back in anyway. This is more so to help the lower league teams that need the financial boost of even a couple of thousand. To them is a lot of money. To Premier League clubs, they've got the TV money. They could probably go without fans for the rest of the season if they had to, or until the government relaxes the guidelines again. Because how are they going to police it? How are they going to do the security? It's just all a mismatch of everything. It's just not going to work.
Fair enough. What about you, James? What do you think about? Would any of you go? I mean, I know that Sean's obviously in Germany. That's why his clock is an hour forward, by the way, for those of you that are actually watching. So it's not like he's forgot about time savings or anything. James, what do you think about fans returning?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Chirag when he said about it's only really to help the lower teams. Me personally, I don't see the point in it just because the games are going to be like friendlies with a bit of background noise now. That's the only difference. Yeah, it's just still, I would have personally just rather waited till the full capacity was back, you know, to get the real atmosphere and energy behind the teams. But yeah, I mean, fair play, they've got to start somewhere. But for me, nah, it's not going to be much difference to, if the fans aren't loud enough in the crowds, they'll probably start putting the background noise on Sky, the fan cheers. So yeah, I'm fair play for them for having a go, but yeah, I would have personally rather than wait to get the full stadiums back in.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's probably the case where it's certainly for the smaller teams. But I just want to get Sean's opinion as well. What are your thoughts, Sean? Would you go to your new stadium? I mean, you've spent so much money on it, surely.
It's madness. It's absolute madness. I don't understand why you can go see a football game, but you can't go to the pub and buy a drink without buying a full meal. It's ridiculous. To be honest, like the guy said, I think it's more towards helping the smaller clubs. I have a message for people watching this. If you're going to go see a football game, go and see your local club. Don't go to a Premier League stadium. Go spend the £2, £3, £4, whatever it costs to go see a local club and help them out. The Premier League team don't need it, unless you're Burnley, who probably desperately need it. But all the other clubs, they don't need it. Spurs could do with the money, but they don't need it. So go watch Wealdstone FC. Go watch Weymouth Town, whatever they're called. Go see a non-league club, please. Yeah, and make sure if you're going to the pub for pint, you get a pie and mash as well.
Excellent. And then just one final thing before we finish off, gentlemen. Obviously, this was the week that football lost an icon, a legend, in Diego Maradona. Obviously, a lot of people being in an English audience have their views, have their opinions. You know, for me personally, having seen snippets of him, you know, and what people tell me of that they've actually seen the man play, he was an incredible footballer. So obviously he had his issues with substance abuse and, you know, private life, etc. But I think football is poorer for the fact that he's not around anymore. You know, that's my opinion. If you guys have different opinions, I would like to hear it. Okay. Sorry, go ahead, Chirag.
He's definitely one of the greatest of all time. He's in the top four along with Pele, Messi, and Ronaldo. Those are the four greatest players we've ever seen. Up there with the players we've ever seen. I mean, that's a whole other conversation. Because I know people are gonna say 3 or 4 other names, and I could say them right now. But in terms of what we've seen, what they achieved, yeah, he's definitely one of the best. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Any guys, James, Sean?
Yeah, no, he's a legend. His film's really good as well. I don't know if anyone's seen it. It's worth a watch. I watched it quite a while ago.
Yeah, sobering. It's very sobering.
It's really good. Yeah, it's interesting because I didn't know much about him, to be fair. I know who he was, but I didn't know the whole background and things. But one thing I was surprised about today, I thought he had a lot more career goals. I think he's only had like 300, just under 400 career goals.
That's what happens when you play in Italy when there's actually good defenders.
Yeah, I thought he was like, I don't know, I just visioned he had about another 400 more, but no, just amazing just seeing like the clips of him and stuff. Yeah, no, it's a sad day for football.
Sean, nothing to add?
Yeah.
Anything to add?
Yeah, like everyone said, absolute legend. It's wrong that he's been vilified for one thing he done. Yeah, although he cheated out against England. I mean, you talk about substance abuse, but then you've got people like Gascoigne and Merson who don't get vilified the way he does. At the end of the day, very sad day for football. Fantastic player. Yeah, what else can you say? You know, it's a very sad day for football. It's been a few the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, indeed. Obviously, and I think it's the same day as George Best as well. Another equally, talented player, but also had his issues as well off the field and lifestyle and whatnot. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. I really appreciate your time. And everybody on YouTube who's watching this, if you've liked what you've heard or seen in terms of Sean's over exuberant celebration as Tottenham score against, a team from somewhere, please join us. We are here every week, or we try to be, and we try to talk as much sense as possible. That's obviously not always the case. But if you like what you see, subscribe and also join our closed Facebook group, which you'll get a link somewhere down below there. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Great speaking with you as always. And have a good weekend and enjoy the football.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
Take care. Bye.
Take care, guys. See you later.